Alrighty, guys. Good evening. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening so far, guys. Tonight we're going to be doing more of the OW2s. Good. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening, though. The Alrighty. Good. Being slain. Aliens. What about aliens? And you're an alien? Probably. Let's see. Why is my add-on not working? Let's find out. Fix the glitch. Dude, it is such a pain in the ass, combining chats for multi-streaming. Oh my god. Every single time I go live, I have to open like 5 new windows. Make sure everything's operating properly. Alrighty. There's Blue Beetle. I haven't seen Blue Beetle guy. Oh, wow. After Hours podcast, we aren't watching that. Rescue helicopters. Oh, that's probably for the Coast Guard. Graphics card needs an SSD. Not really. Well, it seems cool. Stuff like this tends to have a performance problem. Performance hit. Even though theoretically that it shouldn't, if it's splitting the lanes with the video card, because a lot of video cards don't need 16 lanes. They're splitting the lanes with the video card. They end up having some sort of weird-ass overhead. Really, the reason, I mean, I'd probably buy a video card with it on it, but I would never use it. Over the years, I've gotten to the point where I prioritize like performance over anything else. Nuclear fields defending America's satellites. Interesting. It's actually 60 minutes. Bought a fire destroyer Ferrari and fully restored it in 12 days. 100% hired a bunch of people to help him. 100% hired a bunch of people. Top 5? Everyone loves top 5 guns. Or bikinis, good. Let's take a look at a critical drinker, and then we're gonna take a look at a B1M. Sounds good. Lovely.
So I'm gonna start this review by saying something kind of controversial.
Uh-oh.
Blue Beetle isn't a terrible superhero movie.
Bullshit.
You gotta be kidding.
In fact, dare I say it, I actually found myself kind of enjoying it at times. It's
Like,
got a likable cast of characters played by actors that mostly seem invested in what they're doing, some decent emotional beats
Iron Man?
that hit home more effectively than I expected, a bunch of jokes that made me smile more than an entire phase of MCU movies, and a simple but charmingly old-fashioned central theme of family loyalty and self-discovery that works just as well as it always has. In short, Blue Beetle is a film that fits neatly into the category of cheeseburger movie for me, a production that doesn't try to.
This is like old school superhero movies. Nothing really super fancy, but at the same time, you know, something people can watch.
Do anything particularly new, ambitious, or subversive, and as a result, never goes too far wrong. Instead, it's content to go through its familiar, tried and tested story beats with the kind of cheerful, plucky optimism that seems to be.
Oh, that's the actor from Cobra Kai. Don't remember his name, but he's from Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid series, which actually is a really good series, mind you.
Missing from so many films today, a movie with less than half the budget of your average Marvel effort, but which seems to have made the most of every penny available. And if it had come out 4 or 5 years ago when superhero mania was at its peak, then I think it probably would have pulled in a decent profit for DC and might even have been enough to greenlight a sequel. Unfortunately, it didn't. Instead, it had the rotten luck of coming out in 2023, and it feels like a movie with almost every possible factor set against it.
Yeah, I really have no interest, absolutely no interest in going and seeing superhero movies right now. Absolutely no interest. Not that I hate superhero movies, it's just the current ones are fucking terrible. Absolutely bad.
A largely unknown actor coming at the tail end of an aborted cinematic universe that's about to get James Gunned into irrelevancy at a time when the entire
Cobra Kai cast. Okay. Miguel Diaz, which is actually a lot easier to say than his name, which is Zolo Mardina? You know? Robbie.
Hero genre is entering its twilight years anyway. I mean, really, what were they expecting with this one? The opening weekend was abysmal, and I don't imagine that it's gonna get any better from here. And it's a shame because, like I say, I don't consider it to be a terrible movie. In fact, it's probably better than almost anything I've seen from Marvel over the past couple of years. And yes, I'm aware that that's a very low benchmark. It
fucking is.
A college graduate who's on his way home to his family in Palmyra City now that he's finished his studies. And holy shit, that's Elpidia Carrillo from Predator. Damn, it's a fucking weird experience when you know an actor from one childhood movie and then don't see them in anything for like 30 years. I feel like some kind of weird time traveler or something. Unfortunately, he soon finds out that his family have fallen on hard times, their business is failing, their house is due to be repossessed, and his father even suffered a heart attack in his absence. They didn't tell him about any of this stuff, of course, because they didn't want to worry him. Anyway, Jaime's determined to help right the ship and use his degree to get a decent job that can solve their financial.
So he has almost a very, very similar role in Cobra Kai. Not really as bad as this, but like his family's kind of... his mom's alone and he kind of sticks up for her and she's overworked and stuff like that. It's kind of a very similar vibe, but it actually works out pretty well. Cobra Kai is a great series. It started out as a meme, but actually turned into a relatively good series.
Weapons manufacturing company, kind of like DC's answer to Stark Industries. And if you're starting to notice parallels here, then strap in because there's a lot more to come. Anyway, Jaime's job doesn't last long when he intervenes in an argument between Victoria and her niece Jenny, who's starting to ask a lot of uncomfortable questions about a highly classified project they've been working on. Jenny takes pity on him and suggests that he meet up with her tomorrow with the promise of finding a new role. Unfortunately, that just so happens to be when she decides to steal a top civilian tech Scarab from the company's lab.
I expected it to be a turd, and it actually turns out that it might have been like what you consider an average superhero movie probably 7 years ago.
You probably shouldn't have invited him over
Okay,
on that particular
Marvel.
day, in fairness, Jenny. Also, I love how the fact that her grand plan is to walk out with it in a takeaway food container, because I guess the most sensitive piece of technology
Why is there a blur bar on the screen?
company's possession isn't protected by security cameras, motion sensors, armed guards, or even a fucking locked box. It's just sitting right there on a lab table for anyone to help themselves to.
Shite. Shite. Shite.
Of course it is.
Anyway, whatever. Jenny's plan quickly goes tits up when the theft gets noticed, which forces her to hand the scarab off to Jaime on strict instructions that he doesn't open the box or mess with it in any way.
Of course
so
not.
naturally, as soon as he gets home, he opens the box and starts messing with it. And before you know it, the scarab's grafted itself onto his spinal column and turned his body into a flying armored superhero that can communicate with him.
You mean there's a backstory? Holy shit! You mean there's a reason he actually gets his superpowers, even as kind of generic and easy? Holy shit, guys. Origin stories. Not just, hey, look, I picked up a gauntlet. I mean, I guess it's kind of an awful lot like picking up a gauntlet that just gives you superpowers, but at least there's some sort of reason that the gauntlet exists, right?
It's a bit like Iron Man crossed with Venom, only not as interesting as either. Clearly he's gonna need some help getting this thing off him, so he goes to speak with Jenny, who just happens to be fleeing from her apartment with cord security.
By the way, having it on your back would be a pain in the ass. Imagine sitting in a chair and leaning back. Pain in your ass. Pain in your back.
Talk about good timing. I mean, if he'd shown up literally seconds later, they would have caught and probably killed her. So anyway, they go back to his house because I guess there's no way that Cord would realize he was in the building during the scarab theft and trace him back to his home address. And she explains that the only way to remove it is by using her father's secret lab. And the only key just so happens to be at Cord headquarters, where security is apparently now a thing because it's convenient to the plots. Luckily for them though, Jaime's uncle Rudy just so happens to have a homemade jamming device that...
So it blocks whatever this name is here? This must be some sort of, I bet this is a group. I bet, more than likely Critical Drinker downloaded this, and this is the group name right here on it, and he blurred it out.
can neutralize all the
Yeah,
security
it actually looks like a website.
systems in the building.
Oh yes. That's shite.
Wow, that was lucky. So they go and get the key and have a fight with Victoria's henchman, who also has a suit of power armor, but then Jaime's family get attacked because for some reason they still think it's safe to be chilling out at their home address, despite everything that's happened up until this point. Don't go for a career in espionage, guys. The upshot is that Jaime gets captured so that Victoria can extract the secrets of the scarab from his body and use it...
I mean, that's a pretty low bar. DC is not generally very good, and they oftentimes chase after Marvel. And then oftentimes, as of recently, with all the kind of propaganda or checkboxes that Marvel's been inserting and stuff, they kind of backed away from that, which is why basically their DCU is basically self-destructing right now, because a lot of these movies aren't going to be part of a new timeline or a new project they're working on. So a lot of these movies just kind of are just going to end.
To make a whole army of the fucking things, and for some reason she just leaves Jenny and the rest of the family behind. What the fuck? Like, these people have already infiltrated your most secure facility, you fucking Q-tip. Jenny alone knows the intimate details of your operation. She's highly intelligent and clearly a major threat to your plans. At the very least, you should place them all under arrest, because otherwise you know they're just gonna come back and rescue Jaime and totally scupper your whole operation.
No shit. This reminds me of like Witcher Season 3, where they know the people, and like, was it Gascan or whatever his name is? They know the people, like the Witcher, Gascan, and Yennefer, and Gascan's like knows where Yennefer and the Witcher are, and Ciri and stuff like that. And the guys that are looking for her, instead of tracing Gascan or attempting to follow him or, arresting him or something, just kind of let him go and bargain with him for some strange... It made no sense. Witcher Season 3 is horrid. It was absolutely bad. Like, a lot of shit they're doing just makes no sense. And then they act like chummy with each other, too, like they're friends. And it's just... oh, God. Like, it's like the people writing it have no idea how human interaction works. Which I guess maybe is a sign from COVID. After COVID, a lot of weird stuff started happening as far as social interaction goes. A lot of people are not very good when they don't interact with people. And for mental health reasons or their ability to associate with people again, like people forget how to do it. And then they become really, really fucking weird. And then in the course of the case of writers apparently don't know how to, like, interactions work, so they can't write them.
Ah, whatever. So there's a big CGI fight and a bunch of explosions, and the evil henchman redeems himself, and the bad guy gets their comeuppance, and the good guys go back to their home to rebuild their lives, and Jaime decides to use his Blue Beetle powers for goods.
Aw.
And that's it. That's the plot for generic superhero movie number 5271. Like I said earlier, Blue Beetle is a film that fits perfectly into the current DC mold of bland,
Still wouldn't watch it.
inoffensive, unambitious superhero flicks that don't really aspire to be anything more than lightweight, forgettable entertainment. It's very much cut from the same cloth as Black Adam, Shazam 2, and The Flash. The only major difference being that there's no particular selling point for this film. There's no big stars attached to it, no major appearances from established characters, no exciting world-changing events that will have big repercussions going forwards. It's a movie that exists more or less in isolation, forced to stand on its own merits, and that's where the real problem lies, because at this point, well, there's not a huge amount to recommend it. The days when studios could shit out generic movies about obscure superheroes and expect to rake in big profits are long gone. In fact, I can
that
argue
peaked with
DC
Avengers.
never even made it to that level in the first place, and the fact that the whole universe is about to get rebooted offers even less incentive to get invested in Blue Beetle. I mean, I don't pretend to know anything about the comic book version, but his powers and abilities seem to be roughly in line with Iron Man. There's nothing especially novel or inventive about him. Likewise, the plot isn't exactly breaking new ground in terms of narrative complexity. There's all the familiar story beats you'd expect from a superhero movie, and an irritating over-reliance on convenience, contrivance, and coincidence to keep things moving forwards. I mean, the characters themselves are charming enough, I guess. Jaime's a likeable, if slightly forgettable protagonist struggling to find his way in life. Jenny's smart and driven, but compassionate and caring, and Rudy's a maverick loose cannon who comes through when it counts. Carapax is big and intimidating and actually gets more depth than I expected for a henchman like this, but he probably should have just been the main antagonist because fuck me, Victoria Cord's about as interesting as that bald guy from Ant-Man.
Surprised to see me. Fuck.
She makes stroke-inducingly dumb decisions and takes absolutely no precautions that the subordinate
Reminds me of the CEO of, what was it? So in, not Expendables, The Boys? The Boys, the corporation for The Boys had that one chick that was the head of it, which she apparently redeemed herself at the end, which was really fucking stupid, mind you. She redeemed herself at the end of things, they had the really weird interaction with Homelander and her, like, she just kind of disappeared into the nether after she, like, redeemed herself or something really, I don't really even understand their relationship at the end of things. She was, like, supposed to be, like, the evil mastermind, right? And she wasn't. She was pretty bad, but she was supposedly, like, the evil mastermind. It was like a scapegoat or something, but I don't really understand it.
she treats like dog
She's
shit
really
when she
terrible
turns against her.
antagonist.
Which kind of brings me on to one of the less enjoyable aspects of this movie, the social commentary. There was clearly some attempt to push this film as Black Panther for Mexican people, with some pretty heavy-handed messaging about Jaime and his family being disadvantaged, discriminated against, and generally looked down on by the privileged white people around them. I mean, there's definitely interesting stuff that you could explore there.
I
The
mean,
film never really
kind of curiously, if you didn't know, the whole thing with affirmative action, where the Supreme Court made it illegal to have affirmative action, the whole thing about that was brought about by Asian students. Asian students sued Harvard. Asian students sued Harvard, and it went to the Supreme Court because they found out, even though they were a minority, they were basically less likely to, even though there's more of them, they're less likely to end up being have affirmative action work in their favor compared to even compared to black people. Like, they found out that they were in a lose-lose situation, so it's not always white people that are the enemy in that case. Like, you're setting things up just to work for certain minorities, but not other minorities. So, even then it's not minorities versus majority, which majority being white people, and white people are not a race, mind you. Minorities versus majority here. And then they find out even the minorities are disenfranchised versus other minorities, even though they're in the majority of the minorities. So, yeah, even painting just like white people as being the root of all evil it's not really the way it works out anymore.
takes the time to do it properly. It feels more like a rushed afterthought, written into the script at the 11th hour to try to stir up a bit of social media controversy. I don't think it had quite the effect you were looking for, guys. Ultimately, Blue Beetle feels like a decent, well-meaning enough film that just had the rotten luck of coming along a few years too late. You didn't exactly need a crystal ball to know that this movie was practically set up to fail, barely advertised by a studio that had no faith in it, and released during that awkward dead zone when the summer box office season is already wound down. I didn't hate it, and in a way, I actually feel kinda sorry for it. I don't know, maybe I'm just a sucker for hard luck stories, but it might have been interesting to see what this movie could have been if it hadn't come along at the worst time possible. As it stands, it's probably going to go down as just a minor footnote in DC movie history, forgotten as quickly as it came.
Blue Beetle's not really a superhero. I never heard of Blue Beetle prior to this hearing about this movie. I never heard of Blue Beetle prior to this movie, so that's to be expected. Glad the costume designers were smart enough not to give the helmet a mouth like other versions, yeah. So the weird thing is now where they do the CG, but the mouth is not CG, and it looks really weird, out of place and weird. Like, just like a floating mouth in a void. It doesn't really make sense. In my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of the floating mouths, the human mouths. That being said, it's also very easy to tell he's CG, which generally is what... It could be worse. The CG could be worse, but you can clearly tell it's CG, and it's not because he's wearing a costume that's glowing. That one where he slices the bus open.
I don't think it had quite the effect you were looking for, guys. Ultimately, Blue Beetle feels during that awkward dead zone when the summer box office season is already wound down. I didn't hate it, and in a way, I actually feel kinda sorry for it. I don't know, maybe I'm just a sucker for hard luck stories, but it might have been interesting to see what this movie... I don't know, maybe I'm...
Also, Grandma looks really, that looks like super fake acting.
Just a sucker for hard luck stories.
Yeah, a couple different times, every time it pops up and it looks really weird. But like, looks super, not super fake, but it looks pretty fake.
What this movie could have been if it hadn't come along at the worst time.
That, yeah, is very... It's pretty easy to tell that's CG. It could be worse, but yeah.
Impossible. As it stands, it's probably going to go down as just a minor footnote in DC movie history, forgotten as quickly as it came.
Good.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
People aren't tired of superhero movies, they're tired of bad superhero movies, yeah, and constantly throwing rhetoric and propaganda at people. Soapboxing. For some strange reason, it's next to impossible to get engagement on Critical Drinkers videos. I have no idea why. I don't think I've ever gotten a reply on Critical Drinkers videos, ever. A lot of people commenting on it, too. Very weird. Okay, let's take a look at a B1M, and then we're going to move on to the OWs. The Reddits, and then the OWs.
Down Under. The next decade... This city has big plans, and when we say big, we mean big. Skyscrapers, the Olympic Games, massive new mega projects pushing the bounds of engineering. And it's all happening down under. The next decade will see a transformation on an international scale, and it's all beginning right now with the biggest infrastructure project in the state's history. A new metro that burrows under the city itself. But this isn't Sydney or Melbourne. This is Brisbane, Australia's fastest growing city.
Ah! There's like no people in Australia. Like, you think there'd be a lot? The center of Australia is basically empty, and everyone lives on the coastline.
Before, then you're not alone. But the city has lofty ambitions. That much was clear when it won the bid for the 2032 Olympic Games.
The games of the 30th
It bid for it?
Olympiad are awarded to Brisbane, Australia.
Brisbane is Australia's third largest city, but it's growing at a phenomenal rate. Around 1,000 people move into the region every week. While the Olympics are a part of Brisbane's rebranding as an international destination, it won the bid precisely because of the city's commitment to its ambitions and the massive new infrastructure already being planned. That includes the $6.3 billion mega project Cross River Rail. It's a 10.2-kilometre rail line with 5.9 kilometres of twin tunnels that dive under the Brisbane River and Central Business District. Essentially, they're building a massive new railway right below downtown Brisbane. The project includes 4 new underground stations and 8 upgraded stations, plus the development of 3 new Gold Coast stations.
Beyond that, what you've got is a network that hasn't been upgraded.
Tunnel boring machine, guys. Oh my god, a TBM.
Stations in the inner suburbs, which some of them date back to...
That's not actually behind him right now, just so you guys know.
That's Graham. He knows a lot about this project.
So I'm the CEO of the Cross River Rail Delivery Authority. It's really the biggest infrastructure project in the city's history in the centre, and what it'll do is change the way in which people actually move around the city.
Cross River Rail seeks to rectify a major problem with Brisbane itself. You see, the city is defined by its river, for better or worse, and this river is a beast.
The Brisbane River is quite a large river. It's tidal and several hundred metres wide, and it's quite deep. So it creates a bit of a barrier, and it sort of separates the city from north to south. But it's a meandering river as well too.
Right now, there's only one crossing over the river, severing the city into 2 distinct halves.
In 1979, there was a bridge built across the river, but that's really the only crossing, and that constrains the way in which the rail network can operate. It constrains it to 24 trains per hour. Cross River Rail provides a second crossing of that river, but actually goes under the river.
The new railway will ease pressure on the current rail network, which is nearing capacity.
And this transformation that we're doing basically unblocks that bottleneck that's in the middle of the city, which is really tied to that historical development.
Rail bridge.
We're really sort of
only one rail bridge.
Untying this knot will unlock enormous economic potential as well as revitalising previously disconnected precincts. The construction of the rail itself already provides the city with 1,500 jobs a year. There's a business case too. One report predicts the project's benefits will outweigh the costs by 1.9 billion Australian dollars. And for every dollar invested, the project will return $1.41 in benefits for Queenslanders.
The development, in some economic forecasting, multipliers take it to sort of $15 to $20 billion worth of growth.
Oh, it's really weird how they come up with numbers for this, because there isn't like directly related growth. I've mentioned this before when we watched B1M, but they come up with like these numbers of returns and growth on it, but like they're basically somehow figuring out how many businesses are going to interact with each other better and then increase in value. That's like a really interesting number to ever have broke down for you. Like, it's always a company that comes up with the number, but they never tell you how they come up with the number. It's just, oh, hey, look, we came up with this number. It shows a lot of economic growth. And you're like, okay.
Just basically as a result of the interconnectedness that you're going to get out of having the rail system and then the development around those.
Perhaps the most important reason for the construction of Cross River Rail is the population explosion the region is expected to have. The population of southeast Queensland is...
Not to say infrastructure doesn't help, because I firmly believe in infrastructure, but like the fucking numbers they come up with are just...
In just a few years,
random. They seem random. Like increasing population too.
40% of this growth is going to happen just outside Brisbane, while at the same time, 45% of job growth is going to occur in the Brisbane metropolitan area.
Of course, population is going to increase if there's a trend in it, right? If people are coming for certain jobs or companies are being made, so you can predict that. But how would you predict it based off of increased infrastructure? I don't know.
Jobs are continuing to sprout up in the city while people are moving to the suburbs surrounding it. And there's a vital need for better public transportation to connect the two.
The stations really are adjacent to the CBD, so that means you travelling public have to walk about 10-15 minutes really to get to the centre of the CBD from the railway stations.
Not to mention, these new stations will link up with the Olympic Stadium, transporting the millions of expected tourists in 2032. But building under a major metropolitan area is no easy feat, and the engineering challenges themselves have been immense.
When you see it up close and personal, it is an engineering marvel. It's almost like doing, open heart surgery in the middle of the CBD.
It's actually pretty cool.
An excavation.
Like it's different if you have the ability to shut down areas and avenues and things like that to do construction work. It's completely different when you see the big cities, how they do infrastructure projects right in the middle of town and basically not disrupt it all. Very cool shit.
Down about 50 metres below the CBD.
Also, time-lapse videos are great.
Below all of the services, get below the footings of the current high-rise office buildings and so forth. So it's actually the deepest hole ever dug in Brisbane, and we're putting the station into that because the tunnels have to weave their way underneath the middle of the city. So the tunnel boring machines do what they had to do to get under the river. The rock is very hard. They just ate it up.
The Albert Street station sits 31 metres below the heart of the city, and in such a densely packed area, every bit of space counts. That's where these mezzanines come in. They make use of these massive tunnels by creating a pedestrian level directly above the train tracks. Now, mezzanines aren't anything new, but the way these ones are being built is new with...
So, kind of a cool thing here is this is basically all taking place inside of a tunnel. So they have a giant boring machine that goes through and makes this tunnel, and they're essentially breaking up living spaces or areas inside of the tunnel, which, makes a lot of sense, right?
Mental bridge technique. That's a pretty common practice for building bridges above ground, but constructing something like this in a tunnel underground is a whole new challenge. Here's how they're doing it. Each mezzanine beam is precast in massive concrete segments weighing up to 70 tons. They're then lowered down through this hole in the heart of the city into tunnels that will become the new train station. Because an underground station is a lot more cramped than a wide open space above ground, equipment was custom made to fit the site.
Due to the noise reduction, that actually be a great level for things like relaxation areas, businesses, eating.
90 degrees and then placed onto the cavern arches to form the mezzanine level. This was all made possible thanks to the early integration of a digital twin of the
and ad spot. I mean, this fits perfectly with what they're doing, so.
The Cross River Rail using software from Bentley. It was even first-person navigable, just like a video game. The model is so detailed that those on site can use it in real time, essentially as an X-ray, to see behind walls or what's behind it.
ARG, guys. I've mentioned this before, guys, when VR came around. VR itself was kind of a joke, like VR chat and stuff like that, that's a joke. I think video games, as far as VR goes, it's just not... it's not something you want to spend time doing, like you walking around and shit like that, when you can get more enjoyment of just sitting still and using keyboard and mouse, right? Of course, there's applications for it, but where VR really is going to shine is with ARG or augmented reality, AR. So when they start integrating the virtual space into real life space, that is where all this shit's going to take off, because it allows you to basically, you could literally wear a computer on your face your entire time and you have a heads-up display that would display any information or anything you want to while you're basically walking around or doing everything in real life, right? And I think that's it's taking your cell phone and then turning it into a wearable. And obviously not in front of your face, but then you'd be able to look at stuff and participate in reality while at the same time being immersed in virtual reality. And I think it's actually the inverse of what they thought it was going to be. And I actually think that's really where things are going to go. And there's a lot of applications for that, like medical, military for sure, and then obviously adult industry. There's a lot of places where this actually be incredibly useful. And they hopped on the VR train. They hopped on, let's integrate VR into all of our video games and do stupid shit like that. That was a huge bubble, but the real place for it, and it's kind of weird that it never took off or went that direction with Oculus, where they're so invested in the video game aspect of it. But the reality is, they're showcasing it here. The reality is in placing a virtual environment on your reality, not going into a virtual environment. at least for the time being, until you can actually get more the ability to unhook yourself and actually literally be inside of it, like Matrix stuff, right?
That other future projects in the city could access the model.
I've talked about this for over a decade at this point, and it's been really where things needed to go, and they just haven't really. They kind of are now. I think Apple did that, is doing it, but yeah, still not nearly the same thing.
Design flaws could be spotted and fixed before they even became a problem, while the progress of the entire
that's when it's going to take off.
Seen from every angle as it happened. The model will be used to train future drivers, as well as to update members of the public and brief ministers.
All sorts of cool shit you can do with an overlay in reality.
Needs and disability groups are also using the model to ensure accessibility. Once the project's constructed, the digital twin will be used by operation and maintenance service providers.
When we started out on doing our 3D modeling, which we see as one of the sort of things that we're very proud of, there was no single solution that was actually going to give us what we want.
Those aren't real people.
Project-wise, provided the common data environment.
This is actually an ad, but it's actually pretty cool too, because it actually integrates perfectly with what they're doing and talking about.
Adapt, and as we've evolved the project and the model, Bentley have been part of that journey with us.
Cross River Rail is now well on its way to being delivered. Early works began back in August 2017, and major contractors commenced construction in late 2019. The project set to open in 2026, well ahead of the 2032 Olympic deadline.
Using the Olympics as a means of a catalyst for that type of activity, is a really positive thing. We need to be Olympics ready.
The next decade is going to see phenomenal changes for Brisbane and southeast Queensland. And when you look at projects like this, you realise those changes have already begun. This video was sponsored by Bentley. You can learn more about how they're enabling projects like
Cool. B1M is pretty neat. Taking a look at infrastructure around the world, guys. Fantastic. Beetle comment? Not necessarily related. Like, comments on YouTube kind of suck too, because once you get past the initial comment, they aren't really threaded very well. It's difficult to have a conversation with people. Which is weird, considering like YouTube should be enabling you to have really good conversations, just like Twitter should be enabling you to have good, well-threaded conversations. The thread being where it splits off into a reply and then a reply of a reply of a reply. They don't. Twitter doesn't do it well. Reddit does better, but Twitter is horrible for having any sort of in-depth conversation. Same thing with YouTube. Overwatch Reddits, guys. What people are using. Feel bad for people that message GGEZ after a quick play game. Okay. Probably doesn't. It probably actually hurts his feels, and that's why he had to post on it. Jacked a lot nowadays. Projecting feelings? Solo queue isn't bad. Average solo queue teammate. What is the rank that this guy's playing at? Yeah, this guy, well, obviously not just this guy. So, Quick Play uses MMR. Not your comp MMR, although it might. But it has its own MMR system. And it actively reflects the player that's in here, too. So. He's typing to someone. This has to be gold rank. Pretty sure this is gold rank. So if you guys didn't know, the majority of the player base, I believe, is in gold and plat. Getting lower than gold is actually really difficult. Like, you actually have to be really, really bad to end up lower than gold rank. Silver and bronze is actually, you can't just go and place in bronze. Also looks like he's playing with the controller. I wouldn't say even gold. This is just making fun of bronze players, but no. Their heroes OP? Okay. Alright, AMD Reddits, guys. Oh. High efficiency memory mode. Which I need to update to 7C, which just became available for my mother. Okay. Don't want to take time to do it. I got enough stuff that's wasting my time, guys. Uh, 50% performance jump is due to people buying better RAM, not because 7,000 megahertz is better in real world. Like they're just turning on Expo. Okay. Nothing interesting. Double or triple VSync. What? As the higher your, so VSync prevents screen tearing. The faster your monitor is, the less time that a frame that has a tear in it will be on your screen, and the less noticeable it will be. It's actually diminishing returns for VSync as far as usefulness, the faster the refresh rate gets, allegedly. I tend to agree. I don't even have G-Sync on anymore. I don't use G-Sync or FreeSync, and I'm at 240 hertz. Help that much, and it adds input delay. Okay. DVD Reddits. Okay, nothing. Alrighty, let's move along to the OWs, guys. Okay, I'm gonna wash my coffee cup out and grab a soda. 1 second. Alrighty. Shall we commence the OWs, guys? I think we shall. Let's see how many cheaters we get tonight. Good. Good. Oh, yeah. Off we go. Categories, good. The showing up in the live directory on Face or YouTube anymore? Again. Sometimes it takes a little bit to update too. Save? Periodically you have to check to make sure websites are working properly. Not in the live directory for some reason. Now I'm in... Okay, that's working. Guess maybe we have to finesse this a little bit. Why do I show up in Overwatch, but not in the Overwatch 2 category, guys? What? Overwatch 2 in the name? Evening, Rolex. Why? 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 And confusing... what? This worked before. Am I confusing YouTube? I'm no longer in the Overwatch category, but I'm also not in the Overwatch 2 category. Always fun figuring out how to actually get in the right directory on YouTube. Can't just depend on it to work. That wouldn't be good. Second, guys, this is important. Very, very important. Random Valorant. Might take a little bit to update too. I don't know why YouTube still has 2 categories for Overwatch and people still stream in the original Overwatch category. Oh, there we go. Alright, well, that's now showing up. Okay, let's play Gamaz. Let's do the Gamazes here. Crazy. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. Alrighty. Ah. God, I want a new monitor so bad, guys. I'm waiting. This is like the world's longest edge waiting for the PG240 QP. Longest edge in it. The kids love seeing the hand cam. There we go. Good. All right. Well, you know what we should have done? I should have moved my panels. I think we're going to spend a podcast one of these nights transferring all my shit from Twitch. Should have done months ago at this point, since I've been on Kick for over a month at this point.
Touch the sky. Messy, but we got it done. Double triple kill. Double triple kill. Double concussive out.
That was a kill. I'm sure that was a kill.
Prepare your defenses. Select
Alrighty. Let's get to her, guys.
strike from above.
Always a questionable sign when you see someone with Prestige 1.
Biolite has such potential for medicine and agriculture.
Sadly, Vishkar agrees. They want their hands on it, and they're willing to cut mine off.
That's not a tank either.
Sounds about right.
No. Sorry. Yes. Don't mention. 5, 4, 3,
Side of the Widow.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A. Enemy here.
That's the supposed plat.
Terminated. Double. Establishing aerial position.
What the fuck? Okay.
I knew I could count on you.
Accurate soldier. An air too long.
Enemy revived.
Making
dear.
another approach. On the move.
That's a plat. Okay. Actually, just help me out. Res the soldier. That soldier not only might be a smurf, not a smurf, cheater. And a plat.
I don't want to talk about it.
So probably bot account. Nowhere.
Returning to battle. Taking off.
Oh! And then he's gonna get big.
Systems not.
Helden sterben nicht. Ladies and gentlemen.
That fucking timing. No health. Good?
The skies await.
Oh my god, the fuck is that? He put down a pedal platform and, like, right. No, it was actually there. No, he triggered it. He fucking walked onto it, triggered it while he died. Ah, funny shit. Please help.
Increasing altitude.
Pleasure.
Dude, where the fuck's my team? What the fuck? And our tank is way down there. Okay. Yep.
Buddy, a pleasure. Hello.
Shake it off.
Absolutely incredible. Good.
Enemy location.
Yeah. And invulnerability.
Making another approach.
Genjis are some of the hardest characters to figure out whether or not they're cheating. Pretty sure this one is, though. His aim aligns with chest every time he uses his ability, or he fucking, he uses his, Perkins. Doesn't even look like there's any prediction to the aim. Maybe there is, it's just very, very minor. Pretty sure the Genji's cheating. I don't know about the soldier. We're going to take a look at him in a replay. He had extremely poor placement, so we never actually played against him for the most part. Go with an aimbot. Take a look at Soldier. Soldier was allegedly a plat, but he doesn't really miss. He does. Let's take a look at the replay.
Ready for battle.
Genji's a very technical character, so it makes it very, very difficult. Relatively difficult to figure out whether or not he's cheating. Dude, what the fuck's going on there? Your MMR rank isn't directly related to your comp rank, though, and it's entirely possible if you do placements or your MMR rank could be completely different. Can't see this guy's health bars or nameplate, as he hasn't shot him.
Heroes never die.
Next game.
Select your hero.
Yeah. When did he buy his gaming chair, guys? Oh, there he goes. Good for him. How many games, though? Cheaters will usually, like, they don't tend to play comp. People think they do, but they don't. They obviously play in comp, but a lot of people don't, because you're less likely to get reported. They'll just do enough games to get placed, and then they won't play at all.
Watch your flanks. They might try something.
Any safety ropes, guys?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Increasing altitude.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
I require healing.
And we missed our attempt to actually off them. Very accurate, Bap. Oh my god, Bendy! I hope so. I mean, that's... I do stream, I stream 5 minutes on Twitch before I go live on other platforms. Hoping the notifications would actually, you know, tip you off. Also on YouTube, Kick, and Facebook. For the one person that uses Facebook.
Okay, my head's in the game.
Good, good, good. Pretty sure the BAP's cheating. Really fucking annoying too. As is the case. How knockoff host. How do you take so long to die? What was that? Well, good evening to you. Good. That is also an aimbot. Kind of looked that way earlier, but I thought the tracking was relatively normal. That's like a really shitty aimbot. It doesn't even look like it's humanization on it.
Let the Kitsune guide you. Enemy over here.
Yeah, but I'm also pretty sure it's Gene. Let's check groups. At least one of them is in a group that is council player there. Or stack. Your brain, which is the tank. Hanzo is council. That was the Zim user. This guy's council. Does that look like a gamepad to you guys? Yeah. Zim users are basically all the top 500 on council, or all Zim users. I did invite him to a group. I don't actually need to talk to him though, so.
Excellent teamwork.
Why are people so fucking stupid? For some reason, they really wonder why they invite them to the group. Like I'm actually interested in being in a group with them or something.
Okay, my head's in the game. Need someone to tuck you in?
Oh, not sure why the Ana went in, but considering doing it just to dive, but respawns are here now, so why would I do that? For some reason didn't instantly kill him again. Feels like my rockets are slower than normal on my ult. Good. So, usually people, if you're on console on a gamepad, you won't see, like, instant snaps around on the screen, because that is next to impossible to do with the joystick. And usually they have sharp angles to their aim, too, or geometric shapes. They can't do circles. Hanzo again.
Thank you.
unfortunately did not see the Hanzo. So it's either a 2-2s or a 4-man. I guess it's a 4-man. They'll tell you it's a 2. They always try to go with whatever works in their favor. Least likely to try, but... So I'm pretty sure the Bap's cheating, the Hanzo has a Zim, and the Bastion also is cheating. It's very, very sticky locks.
Making another approach.
Bastion is pretty sticky aim.
Greetings. Aerial positioning underway.
I do too. Look at that, you just literally just fucking ulted in the center of the intersection. You didn't even try to go behind a wall.
Enemy here.
Yeah. Metro? Alright. Take that, because now they have to wait for their tank again. Good. And I can return a lot faster than they can, too, on top of it.
60 seconds remaining.
And 100% accurate. Baptiste.
I don't stay down. Let the Kitsune guide you. On the move. Establishing aerial Let me balance you out.
Dude, did our fucking tank just run out in front and die? Good.
Play of the game.
Light them up. Assist me. Doctor's orders.
You can check, I don't think people know this. Like, there's some people that, like, think there's no way of telling. This is literally tells you this guy's cross-platform. Which, if you're on Steam, you don't get this icon. Like, you actually have you look like a normal profile. This guy's cross-platform, he's on console. And that was the Hanzo, which I'm pretty sure was cheating. Or using a Zim, which is basically cheating. Baptiste, we're going to report right away. I think we're going to maybe take a quick look at the Hanzo. Let's take a look at a Hanzo real quick. Well, I'm looking at this. Very certain the Hanzo, you can easily tell if someone's using a Zim. Like, you'll see very linear movement. You can already see when he's doing swipes, his swipes go like this and like that. You can't do that with a gamepad. And aim assist is really strong in Hanzo, which is why you see people use it oftentimes. But it's supposed to be a gamepad. Maybe. This might be a gamepad. You can see how linear it is, where it's going in like angles like this. There's not a lot of circular movement or spiral movement to it. Might actually be his gamepad player. Yeah, there's like a lot of linear movement. Yeah, and he's just waiting for the aim assist to take over. That's actually a gamepad player. That's not a Zim user. Let's take a look at the Bastion now. So, if you guys are curious with gamepads, oftentimes what you'll see is a lot of linear movement, which is what I call it, where it's like straight lines, because it takes a lot of effort to dial in and do something like this, like make curly cues or spirals. That takes an insane amount of movement. It's not an all-in-one movement, right? Like, you have to go up and down, right? You know, or all around the gamepad, all around the joystick. So, people are oftentimes very lazy, where they'll just do straight lines, and it's also very difficult to do things like spirals on a gamepad. Decreasing size spiral. Very difficult to make movement like that due to the way the joysticks work. Nothing to do with the player, it's just the inferior input. You'll get geometric shapes, which is what I call them, which is you'll see like something where it looks like they're going like this, or you get like something like an octagon when they're moving around. They can't draw spirals for the most part, very difficult to make a spiral. And reaction time is generally pretty poor too. It works if you have to make fast direction changes. It's very difficult because that involves your thumb going completely across the dead zone in the center, which makes it feel really weird. It's very, very easy to tell the two apart.
Ready for
Take a look at the BAP, or not the BAP, the Bastion. Possible wall looking. Not gamepads. A lot of cheats have problems with AD strafing for some reason. I think that's humanization functions though, and depends an awful lot on the actual player's aim. Moves too fast and the aimbot detaches. Very difficult to do AD spam as fair unless you're on the ground. He doesn't adjust his aim at all for jumping? Health. Didn't die, guys. No idea. Alright, don't know. There's nothing super obvious in there. Next game. Moving along. Was cheating. He has sometimes I don't even know if you consider it miscalibrated or mis-setup. Is where they have like min lock distance of like 0 pixels is what they'll sometimes do. So it won't actually snap. It'll just, when you get on the character, it'll actually hold on to the character. So if you can imagine where my aim is like right here, aiming to the character is completely normal, and that's human. But then when you get on the character, it will stick to their model. So it makes it much more organic looking. But he wasn't on model at all. So if someone doesn't have really good aim and they set it up to do something like a 0 pixel min lock distance, they set that up, their aim detaches and attaches the characters, but it'll look really sticky when it happens. So when it gets on target, it'll be on the target for a decent amount of time before it unlocks again. There has to be enough deviation between the target and model, but if they have shit aim, it'll detach all the time too. So then you have to look at the amount of time it stays attached to the target after it locks onto the target. Tracking when they're not locked compared to when they are locked. Ah, all the wonderful things, guys! All the wonderful things. This.
Going down. Double. That had to hurt. Notched another. Aerial position underway. I don't think so.
Computer feels kind of janky for some reason too. I don't know why.
You weren't watching the skies. Double.
Yeah, I'm janky.
Blasted. Perfect hit. Double kill. Double kill. Kicked off. Double kill. Taking off. Concussive out. Where's your jetpack?
My shots don't feel like where they're supposed to be.
Double kill. Up and away. Elimination mid-ascent. Double kill. Triple kill. Multiple hits confirmed.
Good. Next game. We're having a wonderful evening though, chat. Wonderful games for you too. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Strike from above. You're in the presence of a legend.
Yeah. It's always so fucking weird how Kiriko's so full of herself in the game, and characters don't like try to rip her down at all, like people would in real life. Like she actually acts like an asshole in the game, and no one cares. Insufferable.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Mercy on call.
Time to take action. Concussive out.
Why do my shots feel off?
Excellent teamwork. I am securing the point. Repulsion.
Why are my shots delayed? What the fuck's going on here now? That is an aimbot. More than likely an aimbot. Good.
Establishing aerial position.
Crude one at that. You'll see, start seeing weird shit like that where it snaps between players in a janky manner. I think it has something to do with the player having a really shitty computer and low FPS. I'm still not sure when you see that sometimes what it actually means. My snaps, or the timing between when I fire, is completely off. Everything feels delayed. That makes sense, because I said earlier my Q felt delayed. Why, though?
I don't want to talk about
My ping's fine. Actually, my ping isn't fine here. It was fine last game, though. Very, very certain the soldier's cheating. You'll see normal shit like when people are, yeah, just pre-aiming too. You'll see the normal shit too, like pad players, they'll hold fire down around a corner. You get it? Yes, we did.
aerial positioning underway.
Fancy is definitely the enemy of projectile players. Hanzo's probably gonna wall climb and try to shoot us. Gonna try and res, we gotta stop her. Why does my FPS feel so janky, too? What's going on here, guys? What's going on here?
Shake it off. Establishing aerial position.
Change anything at all? Fuck you.
Score 0 to 1.
Soldier also knows how to fire after the round's over, which I believe is you have to hide your HUD to do that.
Push your limits. Nothing breaks what can't mend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Don't let it get to you. It's time to focus.
Ooh. Why is my FPS so janky?
Returning to battle.
A lot of FPS too. Tank here, don't we? We don't have a tank. Dude. Don't have a tank.
Heroes never die. Much better.
No. That was exactly where I am behind shit when I come over edges too. Like he's using the... Okay, dude. He's using the aimbot as a wall hack to pre-aim me. Back down. No? Oh my god. Don't know about the Hanzo. Hanzo might also be cheating. Free is for sure cheating though. I'm a Kree soldier. Alright. DM? Yep. Oh, when did he buy his gaming chair, guys? When did he buy his gaming chair? Let's find out. Oh. Ah, he bought his gaming chair in Season 3. You buy your gaming chair in S3, soldier? Oh, it's even better when they have a lot of games played, too, where you just see the juxtaposition. Not that many games. For, Yep. Let's take a look at the Hanzo real quick.
Ready for battle.
And always flicking the right way when he does flicks. Actually, looks like he flicks away sometimes instead of towards the target.
Affirmative.
He's following the Mercy behind the wall. I should have checked groups and it didn't. 100% following the Mercy behind the wall.
Sniper detected. Threat level lethal.
The wolf marks his prey.
He just tried to shoot the Ana behind the wall. Ana the Kiriko.
Wolf stirs within me.
Tried to shoot the Kiriko behind the wall.
The wolf stirs within me.
Yeah. Okay. Check group to see if these guys are grouped together. So the Hanzo is also cheating. I mean, where he is following the Mercy behind the walls looks legit to you? I mean, you can disagree with me. You can also disagree where he tried to shoot the Kiriko through the wall. Oh, you want! Yeah. Like, the outlines, you know those outlines that I have, he can't see. He could see the ones when he has his infra arrow up. He can see the filled out outlines. That shows up to him. He cannot see the other outlines. But you're welcome to disagree. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me. We're going to restart my computer, guys. I got some weird shit going on. For some reason, this isn't feeling right. I don't know why. Like, the last couple days have been great, and then tonight, all of a sudden, I got, like, weird input lag or something going on. Not exactly sure what's going on here. Did I change anything? Do a quick reboot here. It is incredibly easy to cheat at video games. So, like, I don't ban people. When I report them, and they don't immediately get banned. A lot of people I never see again that I do report. There are some that I do see again, and sometimes they take more effort to figure out whether or not someone's cheating, especially if they know who I am, and know whether or not I report people. We had a group like that last night. It took me an hour to go through the fucking replay, looking for timestamps on them. That was fucking boring. But that does also happen. It's a good time for me to take a piss, though. I definitely need to pee. Back, guys. Ah, my computer's not booting up. That's always interesting. Weird. Memories retraining? That's about. But there's almost no chance, like the really high-end cheats, there's basically zero chance of you getting caught beyond manual inspection and AI anti-cheat. There's basically, like, anti-cheat will not catch you in any way, shape, or form. Like DMA cheating, which actually uses a separate card, which masquerades as a device in your system with built-in or custom firmware for it. There's basically zero chance you're ever going to get caught automatically. It has to basically look for the behavior of cheats to figure it out, which is why AI anti-cheat is so important, but that basically doesn't exist yet, so. Sadly. Ready. BRB on. Alright. Next game. Should have checked groups though. Usually when you have more than one cheater, they're usually grouped with each other. Because friends share all the good stuff with each other, right? What's going on here? My mouse aim feels off now. Server. Weird. It started when Bendy showed up. Also feels like my input's delayed. I just clicked the button and it didn't fire right away. Very weird. We had like a good week of solid input and now... Can't hit mid-airs now, too.
Multiple hits confirmed. Float like a jellyfish, sting like a jellyfish. Double kill. Triple kill. Taking off. Concussive out. Going down. Forgot your parachute?
You're good.
Aerial positioning underway. Swish.
Okay. Dropping frames. Am I? Good evening, Craig. Dropping frames for anyone else? Ping looks fine. Try turning down the transcode setting. I run really high end on, if you're on YouTube, it is going to be very good video quality, but it will tax your PC. So try changing the transcode setting to like 1 lower. I don't see anything on my end.
You were truly fearsome in your eye. I wanted respect, not fear.
Wants respect. Looks fine for me, Craig.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
YouTube is best video quality out of all the streams, followed by Facebook, followed by Kick. So, If you want the best experience, you can watch on YouTube. Still trying to figure out how to make better. We had a troubleshooting stream a while ago. Took a little bit. Heals. Why the fuck does my FPS feel so janky? What's on here, guys? Yeah?
Returning to battle.
Feels jittery or something.
They outnumber. Stop them from pushing that barricade.
Negative.
Enemy over here.
We've lost the lead.
Up, Kiriko. Bari, not Kiriko.
I don't think so.
God, I thought the Doomfist was gonna follow that up.
Don't let them push any further.
This got hit by the Starfire on Echo. Okay. Let's go somewhere else. When I left, 3 also left. I just fired and nothing happened. What's going on? The game's fucking eating my commands now. Craig, or not Craig, Bendy, did you do something to my computer?
We can't let them push ahead. Justice reigns from above.
Everything feels delayed. Delayed, and then sometimes it doesn't even fire properly.
I don't want to talk about it.
Healing fortified.
Aerial positioning underway.
Heroes never die.
Enemy here.
100% accurate Alari. I thought that was the Percy? Not. Literally fucking go in and punch him! Oh my god, Echo! Good?
Take it off. Taking to the air.
That's not good. Don't let them push.
I don't stay down.
Huh.
We're outnumbered. Be advised. Enemy here.
Colder?
Concussive out.
Uh-huh. He gets an extra jump.
Over there. Scatter. Heads up. Ready to be unleashed. En route.
Heroes never die.
Always more to learn.
Vibrating too?
They've taken the robot.
Seismic slab.
Into the air.
What's their team doing? Why are they over there? Unfortunately, he ran underneath me and I missed some of my missiles. He would have died if I didn't miss some of my missiles.
Returning to battle. Establishing aerial position. We need that robot to turn around.
Bye. So, pretty sure the McCree's cheating. He started missing towards the end of the game, though, and possibly the Lari, too. We're going to take a peek here. Hit that I don't care about, that you intentionally can't skip past. Good shit.
Ready for battle.
Shots. Very easy shots. Hopefully he has hit reg issues too.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Let's get going.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Let's get going. Nodding off.
Justice reigns from above.
Very easy shots. Looks like this guy has a percent miss. This is an aimbot. Like, I was literally just fucking standing in the air and he's missing shots on me. The percent miss will obviously, unless it's manually, will not obviously change. Or, what you'll see is with the difficulty of shots, it won't actually change the accuracy. The accuracy will always be basically the same. They miss some really, really easy shit. The misses are all basically almost equally distributed around the character. Depends on the kind of aimbot. Usually there's no humanization in it, and it'll appear about the same around all the characters. Like, he's missing shots where basically they're coming straight at him. Like right now, he just missed the Doomfist, even though he hit the Doomfist with the same shot.
Trigger finger's still itching. Let's move this barricade.
Because the aimbot doesn't know how difficult the shots are. Probably could, if it's really advanced. For the most part, it doesn't. Did he just snap to someone behind the wall? What the fuck is that? Yeah. Like his aimbot or he did something with his mouse that caused him to flick over to the... Clearly who he wasn't shooting at. Down there too. And like his misses don't make sense at all. He's like shooting the Doomfist right in front of him, and then he misses the Doomfist right in front of him. Even though he's not really moving at all, he's blocking or something. He's hitting absolutely nothing. And people will throw you misinformation. He's definitely cheating. That's the Moira. Again, maybe there's something up with the Moira skin she's wearing. What skin does she have on? Sometimes weird shit can cause problems with aimbots. Just like any program is a bug. Again? This guy's definitely cheating. Like I said, they'll throw you misinformation like when I was on top of the wall, atop the building, and then I went back over the top of it. You just sat there and looked at it for a little bit, right? So you're like, oh, he doesn't have a wall hack. But earlier we saw one that looked like he had a wall hack, and this is clearly looking directly at the Moira. Through the wall. 510. Has a % miss. Effect. Those weird ass flicks. So there's actually a Twitter. There's a Twitter post recently. I think it was yesterday. Where one of the cast people noticed this shit, right? Like, why does this guy's aim fucking go all over the place, right? They're watching a COD guy, and the COD guy, every time he, like, fucking, like, kills someone, he starts going like this with his mouse. The reason they do that is because the player is actually, or the person that uses the cheat is too stupid to understand how the cheat works, and they just know that it's locking to people behind walls, and it's extremely obvious. So what you'll see with shit like that is they'll immediately try to flick it away, or sometimes they'll just do weird shit where they just, like do like a scribble on the screen. No one does this. Absolutely no one does this that's a good player. The reason they do it, it's a behavior to cover up the fact that they're cheating. I think it was Jake something. It's one of the guys that I basically post on all the time. Jake, he's Twitch influencer. Posts social stuff all the time. But it like he showed off a clip of a guy just basically wiggling his mouse every time he kills someone, because every time it locks to a player behind wall, and you can turn this off, by the way. This is basically a failure of the end user. It locks to a player behind wall, and they know it's doing something that it shouldn't because they can see it like it's locking to someone they don't want to. And it's extremely obvious when you snap to players behind walls, as we just saw right there. It's extremely obvious. If you pick out of an entire area the one person behind the wall and you snap to them, it's pretty straightforward that you're cheating. So what they do is they wiggle their mouse. And we've seen it in Overwatch 2, it's pretty prevalent in Antarctic, because Antarctic is a map that's purely built with walls between the spawns, and when you spawn and go towards the point, you'll oftentimes be looking directly at the enemy team. And if you start staring at players through walls, it's pretty obvious, you know, like if you're actually following someone behind walls, it's pretty obvious that you're cheating. So what they'll do is they'll wiggle. I've seen people just constantly spray the ground while they go into the point, shit like that, so they can avoid basically locking onto people. It's not because the cheat's bad, but it's because the player's bad, which is kind of status quo for people that cheat. Let's take a look at their Alari now. Yeah. So you're like, oh, Ben Sam, you're crazy. There's no way that guy cheats because he misses. Yeah, humanization function is part of cheats, and they use it as a way to, you know, making it seem like they aren't cheating at all. Because the cool factor wears off when people know you're actually a joke, as it goes. Okay. Yes.
Helping you out. Pushing.
Lari's gun is kind of a joke because it allows you to shoot targets when you're not on target. It's a hit scan rifle with a hitbox to it. So you can be off target and still hit them. You can hit effectively makes the head box bigger too. So you can hit someone, we tested it last week. You can shoot someone like right over here and still hit their head. Conversely, you can shoot them down here, like chest level, and still hit their head too. Like it counts the chest level closer, like it'll count the head before it counts the chest level. It makes it incredibly easy to hit shots and hit headshots too. And it functions like a hit scan too, it's not a projectile. If it was a projectile, you know, then there'd be more skill involved with it, but it's not. It's a hit scan rifle that is wicked to the beam.
Something to be proud of.
For some reason I've seen this too, where people that are cheating, they'll start trying to heal an enemy behind walls. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah.
To be proud of. Face the sunrise.
Then Echo hit me with Star Blast. This is an AoE. Some inferences here. He's looking directly at the Doomfist behind the wall, though.
Step rider.
Yeah, point. I've been looking at Echo, though. Reaction.
Adaptive circuit engaged. I'll do what I have to.
Every single shot on me. Missing easy shots on Doomfist. Missing extremely easy shots on the Doomfist. What the fuck is this shit? So when people have a manual toggle, what they'll do is, as I mentioned before, they use banked accuracy, which is when it doesn't matter, they'll turn off their aimbot, or basically you'll be farming accuracy for them that they then can use to be 100% accurate. Is she trying to miss the Doomfist?
Nodding off.
Like some of these are actually hits and they aren't hitting either, so maybe the Doomfist is lagging.
Let's move this barricade.
Missing easy shots from Doomfist again. Still missing easy shots from Doomfist. Like, it honestly, like, she's on target and then she misses. So, like, look at it. It looks like she's literally flicking away from the Doomfist.
Barrier activated.
Is she getting hits? Maybe these are hits and it's just not showing a hit marker? Fuck's a hit marker? The hit marker. I'm not... Maybe he was actually hitting. It doesn't seem that way. That should have been a headshot. I don't know, maybe you can't headshot through the gauntlet.
Stuck your landing, huh?
Thanks, Edwin. Videos aren't gonna analyze themselves, it turns out. Cheaters aren't gonna ban themselves. There we go. Fucking hits all of her shots on me. We just unlucky? Could be a targeted aimbot though. Being all of her shots now. Notice this is also when it matters, right? To win the team battle.
Robot has been acquired.
That's exactly when you want to hit all your shots, is when the enemy team's about to retake a push. Head and chest are obfuscated.
Charting the course.
Nanoboost administered.
This is what I call power.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Also, Bendy infected my computer again with a virus that makes me perform worse. Every fucking one of her shots on me. Again. Fuck's going on here? Unlucky. Targeted aimbotting is very difficult to figure out because they'll look normal on everyone else and then on you. The shots, which is pretty obnoxious. Very, very obnoxious. I don't think she missed a single shot on me except for the point where my head and chest were obfuscated. Virus? Yeah. It's called the Perform Worse virus. Perfect for gaslighting. Feels better than earlier, though. Earlier is really fucking weird. Maybe there's something going on with my memory. Ryzen has all sorts of weird memory issues if you try to get your memory up to speed for some reason. Maybe I'll upgrade my... Well, I mean, I've been on 7B firmware for the last 2 weeks. Just tonight where it started acting weird. I've had some of the best games as far as accuracy goes. For some reason it feels like when I click the button it doesn't always fire. That's a really old bug. I thought I got rid of that. The old problem. Clicks don't feel like they're going where they're supposed to either.
Where's your jetpack? Perfect hit. hitting my shots, you can't touch me. Dispersing.
Feel right. I have the battle pass. I already have the aim modifier. I already have the battle pass. Buddy. Lots of prestige ones.
Strike from
Bet they're all grouped together. Chances are. Find out. All randos? Maybe they're all randos.
No mistakes, no mercy.
Sometimes they'll be assholes and okay. Sometimes they'll be assholes and drop group when they enter the game, so you can't actually check to see whether or not they're in a group or not. And they're trying to be really safe. The reason they do that is because Blizzard actually bans people that group with cheaters. For some reason people care a lot when you invite them to a group too. That's also something I'm trying to figure out. Like they don't want you to know that they're in a group. My aim feels so jittery. What's going on here? Nothing has changed between yesterday and today. You know you want it. I wanted it. Good.
Okay, my head's in the game.
Face my burning fist.
Heroes never
I can
die.
help you.
Taking off.
Well, it'd be so long till we get 100% accurate fucking hit scan in here, so. Okay. Okay. Fuck you. I think they need to change Alari's ult, so it can't be triggered off anyone except for Alari. Right now, her Star Blast, which is what happens when you get shot with that on you, does like 120 damage, and it's an AoE. And so each person that has it on them, it like creates a huge snowball. Any person that has it on them, when they get hit, they'll trigger the Star Blast, and it does a shitload of damage. As Alari's become better and better at, we need more tank heroes that can answer Pharah.
That or spend the rest of my life
For players, and Echo is better anyway. I mean, there's a lot of things that the tank could be doing. One's Diva, one's Zarya. Winston. I don't care if that guy's on tank. Tank isn't the only person that can counter Pharah. frolicking behind us.
I'm capturing the objective. I will not let you fall.
If you guys didn't know, you can actually shoot around Genji's block. Aim feels better. Maybe there's something going on with my memory. It took a while to boot. I don't know why.
I knew it.
Can't hit mid-airs properly. No. He's gonna BAP lantern, and we don't want that. I think we still would have been fine. Ah, the best healer. The best healer, guys, is the turret. Stood around a little too long. Okay. Get an aimbot BAP. Great. There's a lot of ways to counter Pharah, though. Mercy is much more difficult to counter than Pharah is. You gotta be kidding me. You just hit every single one of the shots while that was going on. Aha! Okay. No misses.
Returning to battle.
I think he missed maybe one burst, and that was when it shot through the middle of my feet. Legs. Well, juggling. Much better. Look at my fucking accuracy, although this is more of a fish in the barrel sort of ordeal. Much, much better, guys. Arya? One of the counters to Pharah. Okay. Okay, yeah, Junker Queen is also another hit scan tank. Yeah, Zarya is definitely a counter to Pharah. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Not that Pharah really needs more counters in the game, but yeah, there's a lot of things you can do against a Pharah. And one of which is Diva just holding fucking defense matrix constantly on shit that I'm trying to shoot. Or anywhere. Yeah. Okay, dude. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, there's some weird shit going on with my aim tonight. I don't know why. Look at this. Look at this fucking shit. That is pretty good. Much better. Still couldn't midair, what was it, the Baptiste? I've gotten to the point where I can midair Baptiste when they're doing the jump bullshit. At least like one of my maybe 2 missiles that you shoot at him while he's doing that. I can midair him. Also, we had a Mercy pocketing us. Make sure to thank the healers, guys. And like, look at the matches earlier tonight, prior to me rebooting. 15. This is the one with the cheating McCree in it. 19, that's not bad. It didn't that way. Actually, your stat-wise didn't do good. 19 also is not bad. Matches with 2 cheaters. One was BAP, and the other one was the Bastion. 19, also not bad. That was didn't do good. This fast game felt a lot better. Like I said, it was weird. It was a weird effect. It felt like my monitor was like, you know how the film grain looks if you ever go to the cinema, the film grain effect. That's what it felt like on my monitor where I'm looking through it, but it's not like the right not the right FPS. Even though it says 600, it doesn't feel like the right FPS. It felt delayed, and when I was pushing the button, sometimes I wouldn't fire my gun either. Like that's really weird. It's like a dry fire or something. Yeah, I'm getting old, guys. I'm having dry fire issues. But like when I'm pushing the button, like I clicked the button and it wasn't actually registering the key press. That happened maybe 2 or 3 times over the course of all of our games tonight. It happened 2 or 3 times. It's extremely noticeable because pretty much every single shot you see me fire on Pharaoh is manually fired. Like I'm clicking the button to fire that shot majority of the time. Like I don't hold down the button. But extremely noticeable. It's like every shot is a skill shot. But we're going to call things here tonight, guys. We had some pretty good games here tonight, guys. Had some cheat games. Cheating just happens. It's always going to happen. And the only way that that's going to be dealt with is by AI anti-cheat. That's the only way this will ever end or be hammered down a lot is by AI anti-cheat. That's something that needs to happen. It's not happened so far. It definitely could happen. There's only one company so far that I even know makes AI anti-cheat, and that's AnyBrain. Whether or not it even works, I don't know. But supposedly they have AI anti-cheat that they're training and it actually works properly or somewhat. But yeah, that is the only way to deal with this. There are cheats that are so advanced that there's no way that stuff on your computer can catch it. Because it's not even on your computer, it's on a card. Like DMA cheating, it's not even a program running on your computer. Or something that will run on another computer like a Raspberry Pi or a secondary PC that uses OBS or uses basically input from the screen and then uses AI itself to capture it and then aims your mouse for you. Yeah, there's no way to win this without AI anti-cheat, so yeah. We're gonna call things over this evening, guys. I know, depressing state of video games, competitive video games, but that's the way it goes. I'm out of here. If you're new to the stream, you enjoyed the bullshit, you enjoyed the fun, you enjoyed all the copium, make sure you hit the follow button on your respective platform. I stream to Kick, Facebook, as well as YouTube Live every day from late night to early morning, GMT-6, so about 11 p.m. Central Standard Time to 4 a.m., give or take, depends on my life, what's happening, etc., etc. This is a second job for me, and as such, yeah, takes backseat to me doing other things in real life, and that's led to me basically streaming about 3 hours per day, but still streaming every day of the week, so good, 3 to 4 hours. But alrighty, guys, I'm out here for this evening, guys. Thanks for watching my stream as always, and I hope you guys have a wonderfully fantastic Monday night and Tuesday morning. Have a good day, guys.